Welcome back to Gaming Grounds. This is your host, Action Jack, and today I'm bringing you a video about the latest news article from Wall Street Journal about a possible 2 Nintendo Switches coming this summer. One being a Pro version, another being a mini version. Now we've heard about the mini version. We've also heard about a Pro version coming from Super Metal Dave and also Review Tech USA. But for some of us, we don't really care too much for the Pro version, but I am interested in the mini version. So I'm going to give you guys my take on both, whether I feel like the rumors are true, and what I feel like would be the best move for Nintendo, as well as if these rumors are true, what they could do with the Pro version, as well as what they can do with the mini version. Now, to start off, whether I think these rumors are true, for the mini one, yes, I feel like the mini one is true. I still need to hear a little bit more in regards to the Pro version for me to believe that it may be a thing. I remember hearing something about it in regards to when we were getting the leaks for the original Switch before we found out it was a Switch. There was rumors that Nintendo was playing around with 2 different versions. So I'm for sure 100% on the mini. If I'm wrong, then I'll be surprised myself. But I'm still 50 to 55% on the Pro version. Now, in regards to what I feel like Nintendo should do, I definitely feel like Nintendo should make some alterations to the Switch now, because there are some issues with the Joy-Cons. There are issues with the kickstand. There are issues with heat making the back plate of the Switch expand out. And then there are people that tend to have issues with the screen. Me, myself, I know most of my problems came from my oldest son dropping my Switch on concrete. So luckily for me, I had a screen protector, but my back plate is expanding out, as well as my Joy-Cons act a little funny, but I have multiple Joy-Cons, so I'm fine either way. But I feel like they should make some changes here and there. I can care less about the bezel it being smaller. I know that was a big thing that a lot of people liked. But if you could upgrade it just a little bit to make the eShop run a little smooth, or open up the avenue to where you can add the other features that people are looking for, like folders, like themes, and possible embedded voice chat, as well as messaging. And I have a feeling that Nintendo didn't do this due to some limitations and wanted to keep the OS and the stress of the system itself as minimum as possible, which kudos to you on that, because with the Wii U, while all these features that people said they want, they were in the Wii U, but that thing ran slow. It ran slow. So with updates, and it improved, but out the gate, the Wii U was a slow mess. But nonetheless, I think this should be a small incremental upgrade, but I can understand why they will want to do it, because we will see or hear about a PlayStation 5 soon. We will see or hear about the next Xbox, along with their xCloud service. So it is coming. So when it comes down to what I think they should do, that should be the move in my eyes. Also, please submit a revision for the dock. The dock needs to change, especially if my ideas of the mini comes up as well. So now that gives me a clean transition going into the mini version itself. The Wall Street Journal article said that the mini version will kind of give you an idea of the PS Vita. The PS Vita was a great system. Sony destroyed the PS Vita. The PS Vita could have done fine if we just had standard SD cards in regards to how to save the games. The SD cards cost more than the games, and you needed more space, especially if you were trying to do the all digital thing. But if Nintendo releases something that is akin to the PS Vita, possibly a little bit bigger, definitely, shoulder buttons and triggers, and not a touchpad on the back like the Vita had, no camera, NFC, regular rumble, I think they got a moneymaker. And Nintendo, when it comes to their smaller handheld like devices, that's where your customization is coming in. So you're gonna see your Mario style mini Switches. You're gonna see the the Monster Hunter, the Animal Crossing, the Pokemon, the anything that could be a seller, a hit seller. The game come digital, and the system itself is awesome. Can you imagine an all red Vita like Switch? That would be nasty. Like, I could just see it now. Like, the Switch itself, none of the stuff is detachable. You can dock it, but then it just looks that clean. And then Nintendo implementing the themes and everything else that I'm pretty sure they're going to do in future updates. Nintendo will have something on their hands, especially when it comes to the kids and you're talking about pricing, because I feel like that's another thing for the mini. It's interesting that the mini's been coming up lately, especially when we thought we were going to get the original, the new gen Pokemon last year, but we end up getting Let's Go. And then now that it's coming this year, it makes all the sense in the world. Instead of spending $300 plus the $60 to get your kids into Pokemon or to continue that Pokemon journey, because it's not going to be on a 3DS anymore. So for those of us that like Pokemon, whether you'll be an adult, a young adult, teenager, or a child, you're going to want to continue that journey. So for you to continue that journey right now, Nintendo is asking you to drop $300 plus $60 for the game. So let's get a better entry point by dropping that down to possibly, I don't know, $200 to $150. Then you're talking about adding the 60. Now you got 260 to about what, 210? I think you have a hit on your hands with that, because now you're giving them a clean entry point. You're giving them the game they want, and you're also making it stylish. You're making it stylish because I guarantee if you make it the right way, you'll have companies like Satisfy. You'll have companies like Skull and Company. You'll have PowerA, of course, because they've been licensed by Nintendo on controllers and everything else. You'll have a bunch of companies making accessories for this thing, to where you're going to have those that carry it and play the game, but then also like to accessorize. You got people that want to make the system their own. Now, when it comes down to this Pro version, if there is a Pro version, I think it's strictly just to keep up with the Joneses. Strictly keep up with the Joneses, and what I mean by that is we're going to see a PS5. We're going to see an Xbox One, a new Xbox One, or Xbox. So Nintendo has to continue to play ball, even though they don't like being in that power field. They have a clean slate right now. People could not stand Nintendo in the Wii U days. So now that everyone loves and adores the Switch, and we're in the second year of the Switch, is it second year? Yeah, we're the second year of the Switch. So keep that momentum going by saying, you know what? Sony came out there with that PS5. Xbox came out there with their system in xCloud. Google out here talking about Stadia, which they can keep that shit where they kept it. Apple comes out with Apple Arcade, and then Nintendo has to come with something, because they're not going to be the only ones. The ones that I announced, they're not going to be the only ones announcing stuff. Everybody's trying to get into the gaming space because this is a lucrative business, but it's the hardest thing to stay relevant in. So we have our three household names in Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. Google and Apple want to step into it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is going to come into it. So Nintendo's got to have that power ready for the developers. They have to be ready to say, you know what? Yeah, we have great games, but our games can run better. Yes, our games can look better. And because we already have the development tools for you guys to make your games the right way, we don't also want to hinder you with the power that we have with the system. Not to mention, too, the biggest factor to this whole thing, Nintendo could put all they want into this new Pro version if it does exist. But if that 32 gig or that 64 gig card does not come down in price, I don't care what Nintendo puts into the system. Those games are still not coming. Yes, we see a lot of games that we didn't expect come to Switch as of late, but as you've noticed, they have been ports. which I have no issue with, and I take no issue with. If we can continue to bring the games of old into new light, then we don't lose the classics. We don't lose things like a Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So we continue pushing forward with these games, and that's why I appreciate Xbox with the backwards compatibility, because now you see Xbox games, you see the 360 games, as well as the Xbox One games, all available to you right now. And even if you have the disc, put it in there and it plays. So Nintendo has to play this smart, because you have everybody looking at you. No matter if people care about Nintendo or not, they're watching directs. They're trying to see what is the next move for Nintendo. Nintendo is under a fine microscope, and they have to push forward in this next movement. But I don't want to continue making this too long, because if it comes down to the Switch and Nintendo, I could talk about things all day. But to sum it all up, Pro 55%, Mini 100%. Mini needs to be 200 or less. Pro is probably going to be 400. Definitely 400, because we've all seen you can't go to that 5, because Microsoft tried it and it didn't work out too well. But nonetheless, like, comment, subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter at Gaming Grounds. I appreciate you guys' time. Continue watching the videos, continue following the movement, continue supporting, and I guarantee you I will always give you guys some of the best content I can provide. Like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow on Twitter at Gaming Grounds, and please be sure to share these videos and spread the word of the channel. This is your boy Action Jack. Peace.